In our last video, we shared some best tips for media interviews, as well as what you shouldn't do during an interview. Now, we'll step into the hot seat and share best practices for when you are being interviewed, as well as some terms to remember that can make sure you are in control of the interview. First, let's start with some goals to achieve during a media interview. These include asserting control, establishing credibility, and being comfortable. You can achieve these goals by using techniques such as bridging, flagging, and transitions. Let's start with bridging. Bridging allows you to move the conversation from a negative or unhelpful place to one that you feel more comfortable with. You can use the bridging technique by using phrases such as, "But, actually, our real focus is, the real issue is, and what I'd like to point out is." Another important technique is to use flagging. Flagging helps signal what you're going to say is important, or a key point. Phrases that you can use when flagging include, "More importantly, let me emphasize that it's important to understand, and what I'm most excited about is." The last important technique is transitions. You can use a transition phrase to move the conversation towards a subject you are more familiar with. Some helpful transition phrases include, "That's an interesting question. It reminds me of," "Before I forget, I want to tell your audience, what I'm really here to talk about to you is," "Let me just add," and "Let me put that into perspective." Now that we've gone over the techniques that can help assert control during an interview, let's focus on some tips that can help establish credibility during the interview. Get your message across. Make sure to provide short answers that make for better sound bites and better quotes for print. Emphasize key points and reinforce them with examples, and speak to the facts, statistics, and research about the subject. Wear camera-friendly clothes. It may seem obvious, but make sure that you're wearing clothes that are camera-friendly and help establish your credibility. Wear dark and solid color clothes and jackets. Avoid busy patterns and small suit patterns, such as pinstripes and tight plaids. Any jewelry should be small and discreet. So, we've gone over how to assert control during an interview, as well as how to establish your credibility. Now let's focus on the most important part, how to be comfortable during an interview. First, remember to smile and be friendly. Establishing rapport with a reporter can help make you feel more comfortable during the interview. However, still be prepared to answer some potentially tough questions. You can prepare for this by working with the College of Liberal Arts or University Advancement. Check the description for contact information. So, feeling ready for that interview? Remember to keep these tips in mind and make sure that you have control of the interview, present yourself as credible, and feel comfortable. Checking off all of these goals will not only help create a great interview, but will make sure that your research is well received by others. Now that we've made it through the interview, we can move on to our final video, post-interview best practices.